Prime-time local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
In other news today, a new resource center for parents has opened up at the Prairie North Plaza. Zach Kenny brings us more.
The Saskatchewan government has noticed the importance of family resource centers. So with funding from the government, Lloydminster has opened their own center with no cost to families.
The Lloydminster Early Years Family Resource Centre is a place in community where families can gather to learn about child development, about parenting, to create connections with one another, and to learn about resources in the community, as well as developmental screening that will support their awareness and school readiness for their children.
The government granted upwards of $400,000 for staff building and curriculums for young children to follow and to prepare them for their first years of school.
The Lloydminster Early Years Family Resource Centre really focuses on the needs of children from 0 to 5. All families in Lloydminster are welcome to participate, and all services are free of charge. Many of our programs are drop-in on an annualized basis. In the past, we've served up to 2,000 unique individuals. So no matter how many times someone comes, they would be counted once in that number. We're confident that now with the establishment of the Lloydminster Early Years Family Resource Centre, that number is going to grow.
With the new resource center open, families are encouraged to bring their children in and help them learn early on. The center revolves around the community and coming together to create something great in the future.
As we all know, we have a very young population in our community. We have many young families. Our school divisions are growing. There's lots of young children in our daycare centers here as well. So, supporting families where they're at with their children is really important to give them that best start in life before they get to the schools.
To celebrate the opening, there was a traditional drumming event, and to finish off the grand opening, the members who created the foundation said a few words and then cut some cake.
We all hope that as our children go through the school system here and grow, and they may go off to university, but we also hope that they come back to their communities to grow their own families here, but also to start a business, to, get invested into the organizations and the nonprofits that are in our own communities. And I think that's something that's been lacking over the number of years.
The city hopes that foundations such as this will create a better future for children in schools and hopefully keep members of the community together as they age. Zach Kenny, Primetime Local News.
Sticking with local news, students at Jack Camp had a special guest from the Saskatchewan Roughriders read to them today. Our Abby St. John has more on the exciting day.
In partnership with A&W, the Rough Rider Foundation and the players are going to different communities to read to students and interact with kids at the different schools, including Jack Camp.
It's important to get out there, be with the kids, promote football, promote reading. There's so many good things in the world to promote, and interact and be able to bring some joy to some kids' lives too. I mean, you go to a lot of different communities and sometimes they're far away from the big centers and they don't get a whole lot of traffic with a lot of football players or a lot of athletes or a lot of, this or that. So it's cool to be able to just be a presence out in the community and, bring that positive energy.
The young students enjoyed the opportunity to meet someone that they see on TV.
Because they get to learn about us and we get to learn about them. Very exciting.
This initiative has been a great experience for not only the kids, but for the players as well.
I think this is a really awesome initiative that we've done with the Rider Reading Program, and the kids are so excited. It's just a lot of fun for us. It's a lot of fun for them, for their teachers.
Abby St. John, Primetime Local News.
And now as we head into the weekend, let's check in with Shelby Clark for a look at weather.
Thank you so much there, Mr. Jason Mackey. Thank you, thank you. Yes, now taking a first look at your weather forecast. Just sitting at -6 here in the border city and TGIF. We are looking at another beautiful day, although we have cooled down slightly from what we were looking at yesterday. With that wind chill, we are only feeling past that -10 point. So we haven't cooled down by too much, and we have been seeing a lot more sunshine peeking behind those clouds, and I think that's definitely helped warm things up quite a bit. So hopefully everybody is still enjoying it. Switching over to temperatures across the region for Alberta and Saskatchewan. On the Alberta side, most spots sitting around -3 to -4 degrees seems to be the common pattern on the Alberta side here. Down in Provost just at -5, while St. Paul is matching with us here in the border city with -6, as well as over in Vegreville and over in Edmonton, still looking at the warmest condition compared to the rest with -1. So Edmonton has definitely cooled down quite a bit for today, as they were kind of hitting those double digits even in those plus temperatures yesterday. Switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are definitely matching with us with these temperatures and conditions, now sitting around -3 to -4 degrees in most spots. Going a bit higher to Isle La Crosse, slightly cooler at -6, matching with us more in the border city. And we're going a bit lower to Maidstone, and they are slightly warmer with -2, but we are kind of sitting at that same range with these conditions. No one's too cool and no one's too warm, I would say. North Battleford will be going down to a low of -18 for their evening low, so cooling down quite a bit for tonight compared to what we were looking at last night, as they are getting closer to that low of -20. So it's going to be cooling down quite a bit, but condition-wise, they will be seeing a calm evening. No high chances of flurries. For tomorrow, for their Saturday, a daytime high of -5 for North Battleford and seeing a mixture of some sun and clouds. So not looking at a bad day for their Saturday in North Battleford. Quite beautiful, I would say, with that single digit. Tonight for Cold Lake, they'll be going down to a low of -17, so kind of matching with North Battleford with that condition. They will be cooling down, although they won't be seeing a high chance of flurries or showers, so it will be a clear night. Then tomorrow for their Saturday, that 0 mark, going to be expecting some slightly chillier conditions and seeing around 1 to 3 centimeters of some snowfall, so be prepared for some flurries for tomorrow. For us here in the border city, we'll be going down to a low of -15, so cooling down to those double digits, although we have expected cooler in the past, so not too big for us. And then for tomorrow, for our Saturday, 0 mark is our daytime high, so not too bad for that temperature. Just switched up, -2. Wow, crazy. -2 for our daytime high for tomorrow, and we will be expecting a mixture of some sun and clouds, so that will hopefully help warm things up for our Saturday, as we are expecting a beautiful weekend here. And now ending off with a couple looks at some of your viewer photo submissions. Thank you to everyone that submitted last minute for today. Heard about the Northern Lights, so really wanted to show everyone what some people got. This is a beautiful shot here. We got a lot here from her with about 3 photos. Wanted to show them all here too. Boom, absolutely gorgeous. Thank you to everyone that submitted. And now let's throw it over to Jace.
Those are some great photos there, Shelby. Later in the show, we have a preview of the Lakeland College Student Managed Farms annual Roundup sale. The Lakeland College Student Managed Farm is hosting their annual Roundup sale, and with a preview, here's Thomas Wildman.
The Roundup sale features animals from throughout the student-managed farm, including 8 registered quarter horses and 2 pens of commercial heifers, but a large offering is from the purebred unit. They will be selling 17 Angus bulls and 4 Angus heifers. Like most purebred cattle producers, this is one of the most important events of the year.
We as a team all work with the cattle throughout the whole year, so having a group of females and bulls to sell at the Roundup sale is so rewarding, and I feel like at the end of the day we're all going to be so happy for wherever these bulls end up and the females. We put a lot of work into them. Like I said, we have meetings 2 times a week, but other than that, we're always out here working with the cattle, getting them ready, so I feel like it's going to be so rewarding after the sale.
There are also lots of things that the students have to work on and set up for the sale itself.
We start all the way back in October, planning the auctioneer and the ringmen and the sales staff and stuff like that, getting it all ready, and then we kind of spend the whole year marketing and advertising the sale, whether that's taking the purebred cattle to Agribition or Lloyd Stockade Roundup or other open shows. Then when you get close to the sale day here, we kind of spend some more time. It's clipping and cleaning the bulls up and getting DLMS to come out and video the bulls for us, because the sale is a video sale, so we need them. They're going to come run the sale for us and just kind of getting everything organized.
Thomas Wildman, Primetime, Local News.
And now let's take a look at today's agriculture prices. North American Chuck Wagon Championship tarp auction took place in Lloydminster yesterday evening. The auction was held at the Gold Horse Casino and brought in many guests looking to spend.
Basically, we have all 28 of our drivers here. They're going to sell, and that gives a company the rights to have their business on their tarp for our big event coming up in July that runs from July 6th to the 16th in Lloydminster.
Last year, the auction was held at the Lloyd X, where this year it was moved to Gold Horse Casino.
Yeah, so we are very fortunate working with Gold Horse Casino here, and our, our title sponsor for the North American Chuck Wagon Championship this year is the Gold Circle Network. So we are very, very fortunate that they've helped us along the way with getting this amazing venue ready.
The event raised over $700,000 worth of sponsorships. The North American Chuck Wagon Championship will be taking place in Lloydminster, of course, and it starts on January 6th until the 16th. And that's going to be a great 10 days of racing here in Lloydminster. Very much looking forward to that. But until we get there, let's take a look at what we're going to look at weather-wise this weekend with Shelby Clark.
Thank you so much again there, Mr. Jace Mackey. As you can see, the winter graphic seems to be back. Looks like we're not out of it yet. Taking an extended look at your weather forecast, we will be starting off with our central zone of the provinces here right now on our Friday. And we are looking slightly cooler, but most spots are still seeing those plus temperatures. So not as warm as yesterday for sure, but we are still seeing those single digits, so we're not looking too shabby right now. -2 seems to be the coolest condition on our Alberta side, with -2 in Athabasca and Cold Lake. Then we start to warm up from there. -1 in Red Deer, while it's just hitting that 0 mark in Edmonton, and the rest are starting to warm up to around 5 degrees in the rest there, with Jasper seeing the warmest condition. Now as we go over to our Saskatchewan side now, they are looking slightly cooler once again. They were kind of seeing that before yesterday. Earlier on in the week, they were continuing that cool track there compared to our Alberta side, but then they started to warm up yesterday and matching more with us. Now for right now, they are definitely have cooled it back down to those points, so they aren't seeing those plus temperatures as much. -4 in most spots with North Battleford, Saskatoon, and Meadow Lake. -3 in Prince Albert, and Melfort is seeing the coolest with -5. As you go over in our northern zone, they have cooled it quite down for today as well on our Saskatchewan side. -7 in most spots, while it is -4 over in Flin Flon, -9 there in Wollaston Lake, and then we are looking at -10s for Uranium City and Stony Rapids, as they are seeing the coolest and now hitting those double digits. Going back over to our Alberta side here, they are kind of matching with us more in our central zone, looking slightly cooler with those minuses, especially in Fort Chipewyan with -6. And then we start to slightly warm up, -3, -4 for High Level and Fort McMurray. And in these spots here, of course, they are seeing the warmest conditions as they usually do with that 1 to 2 degree mark. Now as we go over to our southern zone, they are matching with us in our central zone, as well as some spots are now back to those minuses with those single digits, and the rest are still seeing those plus temperatures, but not as warm as what we were looking at yesterday, unfortunately. 4 degrees seems to be the warmest with Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, that 1 degree mark over in Banff, and then we have Calgary and Coronation now at -1 and -3. And ending off looking at these zones on our Saskatchewan side in our southern area, they have cooled down quite a bit, but they aren't quite hitting those double digits, so they definitely have seen cooler conditions earlier on in the week, so I would still say this is quite warm for them. -5 in Kinnersley, while it's -4 in Moose Jaw, -3 here in Swift Current, -4 as well over in Estevan, and the warmest spots we are looking at on this side with Regina and Yorkton just at -1. But now as you look at some overnight temperatures that we are expecting tonight, we will be cooling it back down with these evening lows as we head into our weekend. The coolest we will be expecting in these surrounding areas, with Meadow Lake with a low of -20, low of -18 for Isle Cross and Paradise Hill, and then Provost and Bonnyville will be expecting a low of -14 to 15 degrees tonight. So we will be cooling down temperature-wise for sure, definitely compared to last night, as we were looking slightly warmer. But now we are getting closer to those -20s for our evening lows for tonight. So please make sure you are layering up if you're going to be outside whatsoever. I wouldn't recommend, too many fun outdoor activities, because we will be seeing a pretty cold night in these areas especially. Condition-wise, though, it will be quite calm. It'll be a cool night, although it will be calm, and it won't be anything too crazy with those flurries. And now looking at our hourly forecast for our Saturday here in the border city, we will be starting off slightly cooler than what we have been seeing for the past couple days. Minus 14, minus 15 right off in the morning on our Saturday. Then as we go through the day, we will be drastically warming up for around our mid-afternoon, around 4 p.m. at minus 3. So we will be seeing that single digit at some point throughout the day tomorrow. And then we only will be cooling down to around minus 4, minus 6 tomorrow evening. So I would still say our Saturday is going to be quite beautiful here for tomorrow here in the border city. So please make sure to get out there and enjoy this nice temperature. We will be seeing that minus 4 Sunday as we end off our weekend, and as we head into next week. Be prepared, we'll be seeing some nicer conditions with minus 5 Monday and Tuesday. So starting off with our coolest conditions yet for the week, then we will even be hitting that 0 to 3 degree mark Wednesday and Thursday. So be prepared, we will be having a beautiful week next week here in the border city. That's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have our news coming up for you after the break.
Hi, I'm Callan Dunlop with Primetime Local News, and today I'm joined by Alex, who is the recent award recipient for a bronze medal in rowing here in Lloyd. And to start, Alex, can you tell me about the recent event that you competed at?
So with the rowing season, especially out here, we've got two main seasons. There's an on-the-water season, and then there's an on-land portion. And just during the winter months when it's frozen over, we do an on-land training just with the rowing ergs, like the machines you'll find in the gym. And so that starts around like early November, late October, and we kind of train throughout the winter up till now. And then for those indoor championships, it's a lot of the rowing clubs and rowing teams that have been training just kind of go head to head at these meets on the rowing machines. And for these races, it's just a 2K, and then the fastest time it kind of takes all. As for my like the effort portion of her, it is killer. Like 2 kilometers, nothing feels better than the floor after that. And um yeah, just winning that bronze, I mean, gave it my all. I think I was dead for an hour after that. So was sure feeling her for the next little while, but was pretty happy that I didn't have anything left to give. And yeah, just leaving it all there was that bronze. And then I had a teammate who did phenomenally, and he beat me by a few seconds. So, and then another one that got 5th in that event. So, as a school, Lakeland represented pretty well and was quite happy with that.
Can you talk to me about this winter season that you've had and kind of how training has been for you?
Well, it's been really good with a lot of the guys. Like we had a group of 8 guys in the firefighter training program earlier on our on water season, and then just because of their schedule, they were gone before we really started. But like the one guy there who got silver, Patrick, he just a couple of those guys stuck with it and joined us there. But yeah, no, this season's been nice. We got some new machines that been able to train on, and then with that, it's just kind of given a little life. Kind of feels nice to be noticed. So yeah, training with them's been really good. And then with everyone, like we've still got a pretty committed core group of people who've been training throughout this whole season. Now that we have the next rotation of firefighters coming in, it's kind of fun to be able to recruit people to do that dry land training before getting on the water.
I'd like to hear your personal history with rowing and then sort of your future with it.
I originally came from just north of Grand Prairie, and there's not a great big rowing footprint up that way. So I didn't have any exposure to it until my first year here. And then one of my professors was actually a rowing coach, and she recommended I come try it. So I gave her a try and just fell in love with it. It's a great sport, just whole body activity. And when you're on the boat with someone else, it's a lot of reliance on someone else that feels quite good and is rewarded at the end of that race, and just staying dry and fast. So this will be my last season at Lakeland. I still qualify as a student for another 8 months during my practicum, so I'm hoping through that, I can go to some regattas and whatnot and keep training with Lakeland for a little bit. But after that, absolutely, I want to stick with this community. It's a little smaller in Alberta, but I feel like once people really start to find the sport, it's just going to grow and keep growing.
I'd like to pick your brain on Peter Walsh, your coach, just how he is as a coach and how he's helped you kind of grow and progress as a rower.
He's a character. He's quite a unique person, but I love it. He's got a very nice style of coaching where when you need it, he's there to support you. But when you need that extra push to get you through that finish line, he's right there yelling at you to keep going. So, no, he's very good. Again, when I first started, he was actually the dean for my program. So, felt kind of nice having that connection. But just every single person that wants to row, he is there to help them. And yeah, I don't think there's anyone that's better suited for it. And he's just active in the rowing community as a whole, even with some of the clubs up in Cold Lake. He's on the board for the Alberta Rowers Association, and just active. And it's great to see. It's great to have him as a coach.
Perfect. That covers everything that I wanted to say, Alex. Thank you so much for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thank you very much.
Get ready to make the most of your spring and summer by coming to the Lloydex this weekend for their Spring Sport and Leisure Show. Whether you want to make the most of summer at the lake or you've got a big landscaping project that you want to undertake, maybe there's some home renovations that you have planned, come to this show. You're going to get to speak with local exhibitors, also some industry experts, get some great tips, get some great ideas, and get the gear that you'll need to have fun or to make those improvements around your home this spring and summer. Plus, there's a reptile show as a part of this show. Admission, $10, 12 and under get in for free, and the show starts at 10 a.m. tomorrow and again on Sunday at 10 a.m. Full details at lloydex.com. The Lloydminster Ukrainian Cultural Association is hosting a huge dance festival this weekend. It's the 16th annual Dancing on the Border Ukrainian Dance Festival. Dancers from across Alberta and Saskatchewan are in Lloydminster to be a part of this amazing festival. It's already underway at the Vic Juba Community Theatre. It continues tomorrow at 9 a.m. and again Sunday at 9 a.m. The dancing is absolutely amazing. The costumes are gorgeous, and it is a great event to take in. For full details and to find out more about tickets, you can go online, vicjubatheatre.ca. And coming up tomorrow night, the Hillmont 4-H Club hopes you can join them for a really fun night. A pancake supper and pie bingo. Every bingo wins a pie, and they're going to start off the evening with a delicious pancake supper. You'll find more details on the Real Country 95.9 website. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for this week's entertainment panel is, of course, you guessed it, Abby St. John. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Abby.
Of course. We should probably figure out a different intro, but
I know.
It still works.
I know.
We're both here. We're both here for the best panel of the week.
Yeah.
So
I should probably just start off with, like, you know what we're doing?
We're here.
We'll do that next week. Yeah. We got some good topics on the go, and of course I say that every time as well, but you know, these ones are very timely, and they're going to be coming up here soon, and I think a lot of people are excited. And starting off, we got Queen Charlotte, A Bridgerton Story. And this one, I know you haven't watched, of course, season 1, season 2. I have. I really like those seasons, really like the show, but you know, it's going to be heartbreaking because it does have to do with Queen Charlotte and kind of her love story back in the day with young King George. And I am just not very much excited to know how it plays out. Like, I'm excited to see how it plays, but just knowing the fate of what happens with King George, it's going to be heartbreaking. So
and obviously I haven't seen the show, but I know how successful it's been and how much it's garnered a huge fan base, especially when it came out. I mean, Shonda Rhimes, she knows TV.
Yeah.
She knows how
she
to
knows the chemistry and tension too.
She knows exactly what she's doing. She's very calculated. she has the perfect casting. The music, they take modern music and change it so it sounds like back in the day.
And if you didn't know that and you started watching like me, once you would hear some of that during the you know, the balls and the dances, you'd be like, why does the song sound familiar? Like, what?
It's
and then
what,
you're like, oh my gosh, this is literally like something from Katy Perry or something.
It's what The Great Gatsby should have done when they were playing Jay-Z songs.
Yeah.
Shonda Rhimes is a genius in everything that she does. So I have no doubt that this is going to be another one of her very much successes. And I think a lot of Bridgerton fans especially are super excited to see Queen Charlotte when she was younger, when she met King George, when she got married, you know, kind of the uphills and downhills that she went through. And of course, what ends up happening to King George.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did she react? You know, she has to rule the kingdom herself now. So it'll be interesting to see. And I think people are really excited about that backstory because she's such an important character in Bridgerton herself because she's, as you mentioned to me earlier, just telling me a little bit about it, she kind of she's kind of like the matchmaker of the kingdom. So
they all want to impress the queen throughout those seasons. So it's going to be cool to see how she was in their shoes back in the day and moved up.
Yeah, she knows exactly what all these women and these men have gone through when they are matched with somebody. So it'll be interesting, but there's also flashes back to the present as well. So Bridgerton fans will still see Queen Charlotte as she is in the show. It has a pretty big fan base, and I like how original the idea of the show is. The representation that it has, not just with women of color, but also plus size women as well.
Yes. I always found it interesting, especially like you get so into it that you don't realize, like, even though it's a timely piece, they don't have everything as accurate, especially when it comes to race and whatnot. So I like that. Of course, it's Shonda. She has no problem with that. Every other show, she's got lots of diversity in her casting, as she should. And with this show, I think it was really interesting that she was like, race is even an issue. We're not going to even have those kind of issues in the show. Everyone is on the same level. And I really like that. But now moving on, we have another good topic on the go, and it's coming up this weekend. And I know me and someone else we know here is really excited. RJ Smacky is really pumped up for this one. But we have Succession Season 4. Absolutely excellent. I think, you know, there's many fans out there, obviously, many fans. It is great. It is a great show, you know, all business, all rich style. Lots of good family drama, you know, who's battling to get to the top over Logan Roy. And it's excellent. And it's already, you know, great reviews. We were just talking about this with 100%. Certified on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like if Santa Claus was a hitman.
We were cut out behind our backs. But there's a shape for things for us.
Succession is another HBO success. And HBO has done a fantastic job over the years with fantastic shows. They're not pumping out show after show after show. They're pumping out shows every once in a while that fans love, and Succession is one of them. If don't believe me, they have garnered 52 awards out of 148 nominations, including 5 Golden Globes and 7 Emmys. So you know the popularity of the show, you know how well done it is, and it already has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's already certified fresh, and there's only about 50 reviews so far from critics. So with it still being at 100% and already certified,
you know, the best shows are made this way when they don't have that many seasons.
They know
and
when
they
to
know
end.
where that peak is, and it's like where to finish it and just end it off without stretching it too far. And I think that's what Succession is all about. It's really great. I don't think there's really much of that storyline that they could stretch too much without it starting to be repetitive, and it's kind of like, okay, we've been through this. So I think it's going to be a great final season to kind of wrap up. Who knows what's going to happen with Kendall, Roman, Logan, Shiv, all of the fun ones, Greg. We love Greg. We never know what's going to happen. So I think it's going to be interesting. And of course, you know, the classic soundtrack, I think that's what helps get some people onto it because it's got amazing music, amazing soundtrack. I'd recommend it, and it's going to be coming this Sunday on HBO.
An episode every Sunday. HBO loves their Sunday premieres. So
check it out in
definitely if you're a fan.
Exactly.
It'll be good.
Good recommendation.
Yeah.
Well, that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Of course.